Hi, welcome to week 7 of the CSA for 2017 for Luna Circle Farm. I want to point out over my head here in this shot, you can see the garlic hanging. We spent a lot of last week harvesting our garlic and getting it tied and hung up there. It'll sit up there for a week, several weeks to a month to cure. That makes it keep better through the winter. It was on one hand easier this year because all the rain made the ground soft, so we were able to pull the garlic right out of the ground. If the ground is hard, we have to take a big digging fork and dig it out of the ground. But it was also made hard because it had so much mud on it, and we had to clean all that mud off before we could tie it up and hang it up there. We do have garlic in the box this week. We have a different variety than last week. Last week we had a variety called German Extra Hardy. This week we have a variety that's called Asian Tempest. It looks like this. Let's see if I can get one up here in the right angle. It's got a little purple blush on the roots. Not all garlic is the same. Garlic runs the spectrum from a very mild flavor to a very hot and spicy. And this one is definitely hotter than the German Extra Hardy. Maybe the name Asian Tempest is a tip-off that it's going to be a little bit spicier. Also, any garlic that's still pretty fresh like this is more pungent. Garlic does mellow as it ages. So that's one of the things in the box this week. We also have more onions this week. We've got some lovely Walla Wallas and one red onion. The red is called Cabernet, which is a good name for that deep red color that it is. Walla Walla is incredibly sweet, delicious, wonderful flavored onions. We're also this week starting with the hot peppers. Yet you're going to have 3 in your boxes. The dark green one here, this is a jalapeno. And I hope most people are familiar with the heat of a jalapeno. We also have hot banana. And a hot banana starts out yellow like this. They can then go to orange, and they'll actually turn red at the end. These are a little milder than a jalapeno. If heat is not your thing, you might find the medium hot of the Hungarian hot wax or the hot banana is more to your liking. Every week you're going to have 3 to 4 hot peppers in your box from this point forward. If you're not a fan of heat, I hope you have a friend who is, and you can just pass the peppers on to them. We also this week, we picked our first green beans. I have to say nobody on my crew was sorry to be done with picking peas. I feel like pretty soon I'm going to be able to stand upright again. But the beans have started. We don't have a lot this week, so it's mostly like a couple handfuls in each box, just enough to give you a little tiny taste. But we do have tomatoes have just taken off this week. And I'm going to try to show you. Last week I showed you one tray that we had harvested. That was all we harvested. And this week we have a lot more. We have 5 whole trays of tomatoes of different colors in different sizes. So you're going to get quite a few tomatoes, probably about 3 pounds this week. We also have cilantro. So, here we've got onions, hot peppers, tomatoes, cilantro. This sounds like a good week to start making salsa, fresh salsa. Garlic would be good in that too. Yummy, yummy. Cherry tomatoes, we're going to continue with the sun golds. Once again, as I said before, you'll get a pint or 2 of those every week. We also have, instead of head lettuce this week, we've got these lovely bags of salad mix. A good sized bag here for you. Cucumbers are waning for us. You're going to have 1 in your box. I don't know how much longer we'll have cucumbers this season. But, we're starting with some of the other things. One of the new things this week is eggplant. And once again, this is one of those things, we just have a taste to start this week. But we grow eggplants, several different styles of eggplants. Most of you are going to get one of these. This is an Asian style eggplant. Some of you will get one of these, which looks a little more like a zucchini shape. We do have, this is a lighter, brighter purple than the other one. We will, over the course of the season, you'll see dark purple, light purple. We have purple and white. We have some green eggplants this year. So lots of different eggplants. Like I said, just a taste this week, but they're coming on strong. The thing that we do have coming on very, very strongly is zucchinis. This to me is the perfect zucchini. It's 5 to 6 inches long. It has good flavor. But when we have weather like this where it's hot, it's humid, we are getting the giant zucchinis, the much larger ones, some even bigger than this. It's time to make zucchini bread, everybody. Zucchini cake, everything. You're probably going to have 9 or 10 zucchinis plus a couple patty pans in your box this week. I don't normally like to load you up with that much zucchinis, but when we're harvesting 140 of them 2 to 3 times a week, we have to move them somehow, and so you're going to be getting a lot of them. As I said, I will have several recipes for you that I'll link to. Now, one of the things that's nice about recipes for zucchinis, like zucchini bread, you can, I'm guessing here, but I think the recipe usually calls for about 3 cups of grated zucchini. You can grate that zucchini up now, put it into freezer bags and freeze it. You don't have to make the bread now, but you can put the zucchini away for when it's a more convenient time or closer to the holidays, maybe when you want to have some of those sweet breads to eat. You will find when it comes out of the freezer that you have to drain off some water. I think this makes it better because then your zucchini bread isn't quite as moist. It cooks a little faster, does things a little bit better. I'm also giving you a recipe for one of my favorite dishes. It's called zucchini meatballs. There's no meat involved. It's a little more complicated than some recipes, but once again, this is one of those things that you can make the zucchini balls now and freeze them to eat later. You can just grate the zucchinis and tuck it away to use later. It's a fabulous dish if you take the time to make it. It has it's not only the meatballs, there's also a recipe for a sauce to go with it. You can make the meatballs without the sauce. It still is delicious. Wonderful, wonderful recipe. So I will include that one. I think that's it for the box this week. Let's see, I'm looking over everything we got here. Yes, I talked about everything. So I hope things are going well for you. We had a lot of rain this last week. So make sure you wash that salad mix well. We do try to wash it, but we can't get everything off. And so, you know, the rain has slowed us down on a few other things. We're kind of behind on some of the things that we would normally be planting at this point in the year, and we just haven't gotten to it. So hopefully this week is going to give us some windows of opportunity to get things planted. Talk to you next week.